Right. What's that? Oh, that's right. Started. Huh? Yeah, just hit the record button. Hey, everybody. We're going to get started here in a sec. We're going to share out all these posts. Are you going to share it?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I'm going to share it. Texting now, though. Leave me alone. Like, share with comment. Hey, chesting 1 2, chesting 1, chesting, chesting 1 2, chesting 1 2.
you can turn on the cameras pulse that way people can see that we're actually here. I'm going to tell everybody hi. Hey, everybody, we're just sharing this post real quick, and then we're going to get started here in a second.
I shared it. I like it. Shared it. Where are you at here? You on the Twitter? Did you do the Twitter?
I'm doing it right now. All right, go share it. And then we're going to start. Okay. Been a while, so
there you are.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did you share the Facebook post too?
Yep.
All right, we're 30 seconds late. We got to get going here.
Yep.
Let's tell everybody hi. Hi, Elise Landry Burgess. Hi, Kirk Taylor. Hi, Colby Hester.
Colby.
Hi,
Colby.
Colby. All right, put on your headphones so we can start.
I always thought if you were going to name your child,
Let's start. Put on your headphones.
I would just go Cody or Kobe, not Colby.
Colby.
I have a problem saying that word.
Colby. My mother-in-law's maiden name is Colby, but she doesn't pronounce her L's. She says Kobe. Kobe. Yeah. All right, here we go.
This is the Riot Podcast with Matt Moscona and Ryan Terrio. One is an athlete, the other an athletic supporter. Follow the guys on Twitter at Matt Moscona and at rterrio7. Here's Matt and Ryan.
She called me a jockstrap. We're back. It's been a minute. Appreciate Prime Occupational Medicine sponsoring the podcast. He's Ryan and Matt. So we had Christmas on a Tuesday, then New Year's on a Tuesday, then you got lazy and didn't do the show, and then we were in Houston last week, and now we're back. It's been a month since we've done the podcast.
Too long.
Way too long. So shout out to Prime Occupational Medicine. Shout out to all of you who are with us. Of course, Tuesdays, noon Central Time, we record this thing, and you can watch us live on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook page if you care to participate during the podcast, or if you want to watch it instead of listen to it, you're welcome to do that as well.
If you were going to name your child Hunter, would you call them Hunter without saying the T, or would you go Hunter, like Hunter?
I think I pronounce the T, Hunter. That's just how I say it.
You would
I don't
say Hunter?
I don't say Hunter. I say Hunter. Now, there are some people that for example, like Clinton.
Yeah.
Like President Clinton.
Or Clinton, Louisiana, or Mississippi.
Or Clinton, yeah. A lot of people, I think, would just say Clinton. You don't say Clinton.
Yeah. I do that. I don't say Clinton.
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
And what about people like from the Midwest that say Clinton? Clinton. That's how, like my brother, when he was at Notre Dame, dated a girl from Ohio, and that's how she would say Clinton. She would say Clinton.
Why?
I don't know. It's just how they talk. They probably say, why do you say y'all? I don't know. Just how we talk. Just different dialect, I guess. That's all. You upset about it?
No, I mean, I always find it fascinating, the word hunter.
Why? What brought that up?
Or like hunting. I'm going hunting.
Yeah? Well, why?
I'm going hunting.
Why?
So I don't do the ing or the T. Just go I'm going hunting. HUNNIN.
NIN. Hunting.
NIN. I'm going hunting.
Hunting.
Hunt. What is that? What letter would that be? Or what sound would that be? Hunting. Hunting.
Like apostrophe N. HUNT apostrophe hunting.
No T, I don't think.
But it's a soft T. Hunting. Not hunting. It's hunting.
Okay. Would it look HUN apostrophe?
No, HUNT apostrophe N.
What would this word be?
That'd be hunting.
All right, that's what I said.
Hunting. That would be HUN apostrophe N be hunting.
Hunting.
And I can't believe anybody would still be listening or watching this right now. Did you miss us all, by the way? Let's see. Kirk Taylor, who is in Omaha, he said, dating a girl from the Midwest, too. I can confirm this. They overpronounce everything.
Yeah. Midwesterners.
So, but since last we spoke,
Midwestern women, they're generally strongly built, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're stout. And then and they talk a little different.
Some are.
Yeah.
Can be.
I think it's the diet and, like, the nutrition available.
Farm people?
Yep. It's similar
to... Farm-fed, like animals.
It's just like animals. Just like deer, for instance, if they don't have...
If you're a horse on a farm or a cow, you're being raised like cat. You're being bred to go to the slaughter. So
are Midwesterners breeding themselves to go to the slaughter?
No, but that's just... I don't think they're breeding to go to the slaughter, but I think, that's how you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Like we eat fried foods and drink a lot of alcohol. It affects the way we look.
But I wouldn't say we're stoutly built in South Louisiana. Like
a lot of obesity down here.
I think there's a difference between being obese and
being stout.
And
sure.
I mean, I'm looking at the word, or like big boned.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah, it's true.
I would say healthy, but I don't think healthy is the word. I think just like thick.
Yeah, thick.
Just thick skin, just thick bones,
thick.
like big features. Not ugly by any means. I'm not saying that it's bad.
Oh, yeah, you are. This is definitely a negative undertone here.
Well, it wouldn't work for me, but, like big hands, big feet, like just big, bro. Big, like thick, like put on the pads.
So we'll do Kick Rocks coming up here shortly. We'll talk some LSU hoops. Ask Us is coming up. We'll start with the topic that everybody's talking about, which soon is going to be just beleaguered and everyone is going to be sick of it. It actually saw on Twitter where there was one radio host on a national show, little known, but still a national network, said like the Saints fans, the quote is from Ben Mahler, said, "You would think there was a federal crime committed in New Orleans. The Saints choked that game away and deserved to lose."
Ooh.
All right, so I'm going to ask you this question, okay? Because you're a guy that, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, so you tell me if I'm representing you in any way. Okay. But for as long as you and I have done radio and media together, we have always talked about the possibility for replay, and in many respects as it relates to baseball, and you have been a guy that has been very much opposed to replay. Mm-hmm. You're all about the human error and that being an element of the game. So now that this has happened, has it changed your opinion at all on replay in sports?
Yes, a little bit. It has.
How much?
Well, I say a little bit. I guess quite a bit. My point was always it's all going to even out. Like in a baseball game, for instance, if I'm up to bat and there's a terrible called strike, which is obviously a ball, I'm of the belief that eventually there's going to be a pitch that's going to be a strike that they're going to call a ball and it'll work in my favor.
A makeup call.
Of some sorts. The game will have a way of evening itself out. Like, hit a line drive, dude catches it. Don't get pissed because at some point you're going to hit a little bleeder somewhere and it's going to be a base hit. This, however, I don't see how anything can ever happen to even this out. I mean, not only like on field for the actual Saints and the players, but the economic impact it has off the field for the city of New Orleans and surrounding areas, the impact it has, legacy-wise for Breeze and Peyton. And I don't see there being a call that they could make up during the game that I would go, oh, okay, it's fair now. I think it's that big and egregious and just...
Especially since the season is over. Mm-hmm. I mean, in overtime... no, forgive me. On what ended up being the game-tying drive. So after the egregious no call, the Rams did throw a pass down the right sideline, and there was contact, and the ref swallowed the flag. And in part probably because you couldn't let go what went on the Tommy Lee Lewis play and that. But I guess I find it interesting because this is still the human error that you always talk about, and you're kind of acquiescing. But I think it's because it's the team you cheer for that got screwed. And I think that's where most people only start to care about things. It's like, I think it's similar to it, like issues, or if you're passionate about a charity. Typically, the reason that you're passionate about a certain charity isn't because you spun a wheel and picked. Generally, you have some life experience that makes you, intensely care about something. Like for us, we do a lot with children's charities, and a lot of that impetus was Drew. And I'm a board member on the Congenital Heart Foundation of Louisiana. That was in large part because of all of our dealings with Drew. So it makes sense. And I think with situations like this, when it's your team that gets screwed, you're going to pay more attention to it and want to see change.
You do pay attention to it and want to see change. And yes, you're correct in assuming that I'd always kind of been on that side of the fence on instant replay. Would I've loved to seen instant replay in this situation because it was a team that I was pulling for? Sure. But the reason why I think that, I guess had a call ever affected me, and where the real outcome of not only the game but a season, then I would probably feel a little bit differently. And there was so many layers to this thing that we're privy to.
What do you mean?
I mean, with you can talk about Brees for a minute. He's not the quarterback. He wasn't the quarterback in the playoff game this year that he was in the beginning of the season.
Okay.
I think he regressed throughout the season. I think his body is not able to do what it was once able to do, and he's 40 years old. We saw some throws that he normally makes, he didn't make. It makes me sad to think that next year he's going to be a year older, and it's probably going to regress a little bit more. So that window for the Saints to, capitalize on winning a Super Bowl is closing pretty fast. I mean, it's tied to him. So that's a layer that I look at. Mark Ingram coming up for a new contract. Will he stick around? That's another layer you look at. Integral part of that team, but also that clubhouse chemistry. I mean, I don't see this, everybody's saying, the team's going to be good next year, blah, blah, blah. I don't see this being the same team next year as it was, this year. I don't think they're going to be as good. I think the wear and tear on the tread is real at this point. So to know that something's over or getting close to being over and it maybe could have happened, it's a shame. And I think that's why I've changed my opinion.
Have you seen the lawsuit story?
The civil suit?
So Travers Mackle from WDSU tweeted, Frank D'Amico says a hearing is scheduled for Monday at 10 a.m. before the Honorable Piper Griffin at Orleans Parish Civil Court on his lawsuit against the NFL. Says he wants Roger Goodell served today. But so here is attorney Frank D'Amico, courtesy again of Travers Mackle and WDSU.
We filed this lawsuit to compel Roger Goodell to explain to the Saints fans and the world why he's not doing something about this manifest injustice. He has the authority under Rule 17 to take action, and he's been silent. Crickets, nothing. He can't hide anymore. We're serving him today. He's going to be ruled into court on Monday to explain to a court of law why he isn't taking the action that he has authority to take.
You think this is a complete injustice by the NFL, you were telling me?
It's a complete injustice, and it's a farce. I've never seen in my life sports books give back money to bettors when the outcome of the game is so obviously rigged.
He's got a point with the last statement.
No, he does.
He does.
That's happened before.
Has it? I don't know.
That's
okay.
happened
I've
before. Just because he's never seen it in his life. But this is sort of getting absurd now. It takes sour grapes to a completely absurd level. They blew a call. It was hideous. But class action lawsuits, what are we talking about here, really, man? Let's if nothing else, let's put pressure on the NFL to make sure they change an awful rule and give coaches the authority to be able to challenge, or a booth replay to be able to fix something that's so terrible like this. And it's problem solved. You don't need lawsuits. You're not replaying this. I've had smart people ask me in the last 24 hours, hey, man, Erica, I got home last night and she said, is there any chance they replay that game? I was like, no. So people have been asking her all day, hey, does Matt think they're going to replay? No!
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Replay?
No.
Could you imagine? Okay, you're a professional athlete. Let's say Game 7 of the World Series, there's an egregious safe out call at home, you lose the World Series. It very clearly shows that they got the call wrong. There's no ability to challenge. Like class action lawsuits filed. Do you think you're ever going back on the field to replay that game?
No. And look, I got news for all you out there that are hoping that something like this might happen. I've seen it on social media and the petition and this and that. I got news for you. Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara right now, as we speak, are wearing a ski mask and doing the motorbike in Turks and Caicos. Like, they're not here.
They're done.
They left. I mean, when the game was over, they went to their houses or apartments. They packed up. The following day, they hopped on private birds and went their separate way for a vacation. They're not here. Like, the game is not going to be replayed. Oh, and Goodell's not going to say anything about it either.
Man.
I mean,
no, he needs to say something.
I think it's obvious. If he was going to, they probably would have waited. I mean, you said it earlier. We're going to talk about it for a couple days or a day, and then it's going to be it. Like, that's what the NFL is waiting for. They're kind of just waiting because once he makes a statement, it starts it up again.
But the difference is I don't think this goes away because you've got 2 weeks between now and the Super Bowl, and it's really hard for me to imagine this dying down when people are just actively looking for storylines between now and the Super Bowl. So, like, really hard for me to imagine this just going away. Anyway, by the way, did you see what Gayle Benson said?
I like Gayle Benson. What'd she say?
Stay. By the way, when she came out for the Who Dat chant on Sunday, it was fire, man. Like, place went nuts when she walked out on the screen. Anyway, here's the statement from Gayle Benson. You can see it at NewOrleansSaints.com. She said, "Yesterday's still difficult to accept for all of us. I'm thoroughly disappointed by the events that led to the outcome of yesterday's game. Getting to the Super Bowl is incredibly difficult to do and takes such an unbelievable commitment from a team and support from its fans. No team should ever be denied the opportunity to reach the title game or simply win a game based on the actions or inactions of those charged with creating a fair and equitable playing field. As is clear to all who watched the game, it is undeniable that our team and fans were unfairly deprived of that opportunity. Yesterday, I've been in touch with the NFL regarding yesterday's events. We'll aggressively pursue changes in NFL policies to ensure no team and its fan base is ever put in a similar position again." The line, though, that I think is the most crucial is where she says the NFL must always commit to providing the most basic of expectations: fairness and integrity. Those are the two that are going to hit home the most, man. You're talking about fairness and integrity, and that's the buzzword people always say, like, the integrity of the game. You know, you're compromising the integrity of the game when you have an owner saying that. It's going to get a lot of attention, and naturally so.
So, full disclosure, I've always thought Gayle Benson was sneaky hot. Now I think she's a little bit hotter. Honestly, with those strong words, she just went up on my list a little bit. I think she's like a hard 8 right now.
Come on, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Can you
absolutely? This skin's perfect, loaded. So she gets a couple extra points because she's loaded.
Points for being loaded. You like her skin.
She's got good,
really
smooth,
nice
like,
disposition, like super disposition. Seems like the most lovable lady ever.
Dresses really good.
Yeah, I mean, to a T.
Loaded.
You like that.
I like the fact that she cares about her appearance. She's loaded. Like, hair's always perfect. Yeah, dude. I mean, and then to be able to put something out there like that, strong words right there. I really feel like she wrote it too. Come out, does the Who Dat chant. Dude, I'm on Gayle Benson. Absolutely.
Her husband died this year, man. Last year.
What does that have to do with any? I mean, she's hot. She's sneaky hot. I mean, what does it matter? I wonder if she dates now, or if she's.
Come on, man. Come on. Like.
No, I know. I'm not saying anything about that. But, like, you don't find her the least bit attractive?
I mean, she's a nice-looking older lady, for sure. I mean, but she's 70 years old, man.
It's just a number. 70 is the new 50, man. It's 2019.
And I don't really have much interest in dating a 50-year-old.
I'm not saying for you or me. I'm just simply stating the fact that
she's
I think
71.
Yeah. She's done well. I'm just saying.
I'll say this. Most women at 71 years old probably don't look like Gayle Benson. But then again, most women at 71 aren't billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you that.
Yeah. I mean, she's done a good job.
Pete Giardino did the slap face emoji, like the hand on the face palm, to your comments.
I mean, I think she's sneaky hot. I mean, hard. I'm going to give her a hard 8 because of the zeros in her bank account. But I do believe that she dresses really good and, takes care of herself. And, gosh, I like it.
It's now time to kick rocks with Ryan Terrio.
Kick rock.
Kick rocks.
NBA can kick rocks because they're so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Terrio actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
You want to read that?
No.
It's impressive.
I'll read that. Okay, you going to go first? Or you may go first.
You can go first.
Okay, all you idiots. Yeah, I said it. Idiots. Calling for Roger Goodell to exercise the rule that allows him to reverse the outcome of the game can kick rocks. It sucks. I get it. The call was terrible. The Saints would have kneeled it 3 times. There would have been 15 seconds left, and they would be going to the Super Bowl. But newsflash, the players aren't here. They've moved on, and you don't want to win like that anyway. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I do.
Quit crying. Get over it. And let's just hope that a rule changes to make sure this never happens again.
You can kick rocks for saying that.
And I picked the Rams.
Darren McFadden can kick rocks. You picked the Saints, and then at the very last second, you're like, oh, Rams, because you're being stupid. Darren McFadden can kick rocks.
I like Darren McFadden. Don't you do that. Don't you put that evil on me.
Do you know what he did?
No.
He pulled a Tony La Russa.
He won championships and was awesome?
Nope.
He dyed his hair purple?
Nope.
He got staph infection, shingles on his face?
Nope.
He wore pants that were way too tight around the ankles?
Nope.
He had Jimmy Buffett in the clubhouse before every game?
Nope.
He put sticky notes all over his office and looked like a homeless person?
Nope.
I don't know then.
He got drunk and passed out behind the wheel of his car.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
McFadden was in a Whataburger drive-thru, and he fell asleep in the drive-thru lane.
No, in the drive-thru lane. That's
Drunk driving DUI.
Yeah, it's not good.
So I've mentioned this so many times over the many, many years I've been on the radio. When you're loaded, there's no excuse to ever get a DWI because you can always get a car service. Now with Uber, there's no excuse for anybody to ever get a DWI. Just open up the app on your phone, and in like 2 minutes, there will be a car there to pick you up and take you wherever you need to go. Like, it has never been easier to avoid a DWI than right now because of Uber. So, or Lyft, whichever you want. I'm impartial. Just pick whichever one. Get the app on your phone, punch in your credit card, and if you ever need a ride, don't drink and drive, idiot. Just open the Uber app or the Lyft app, and then someone will be there to get you in like a minute. Kick rocks, Darren McFadden.
And to your point, like Uber, you can't go around town without seeing a car that either says Lyft, Uber, or Waiter on it. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Everybody's an Uber driver.
Yeah. I'm an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Not we are. No, I'm not.
Tony is, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want Tony driving me around.
Definitely not. In that case.
Yeah. No, you know what? Call Lyft. I think Tony's an Uber driver. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Didi Breaux can kick rocks.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. You're telling the dean of SEC coaches, the longest tenured coach in SEC history in any sport, surpassing Adolph Rupp, Didi Breaux to kick rocks?
Didi Breaux can kick rocks.
Gotta hear this.
You know what? I'm over it. I'm off it. I was on the train for a while. I'm off the train. Wow. You lost 2 in a row.
Wow.
Unacceptable. Wow. We cannot do that with the girls that we're pumping out there on the uneven bars, on the rings, on the floor.
Well, they don't do the rings in women's gymnastics.
To lose 2 in a row? The vault?
On the ring.
The synchronized swimming section? We can't do that.
Oh, man, you're so stupid.
Clean it up, Didi. You're better than that.
Now let's see if Ryan Terrio actually prepared.
Sorry. I scrolled back too far. Baseball Hall of Fame voters can kick rocks.
Nice, bro.
What?
Good. I had that on here.
Well, because I told you, and you took it from me.
No, this was earlier. The last one I wrote was that one. You're like the last one.
Okay.
That's good.
Good. Baseball Hall of Fame voters can kick rocks because Mariano Rivera is not going to be a unanimous
he's not
a Hall of Fame entry, and anyone who does not vote for him, you can kick rocks. You should have your voting privileges rescinded. It is absurd the manner in which baseball voters that they take it upon themselves, like they think they're protecting the history of the game because Babe Ruth wasn't a unanimous. Nobody gets to be unanimous. You're an idiot. Mariano Rivera is a Hall of Famer. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He should be a unanimous Hall of Famer today, but he won't be because nobody is, because baseball writers are idiots and they can all kick rocks.
Baseball Hall of Fame voters can kick rocks.
I just said that.
Because they'll vote Harold Baines in before they're going to vote Barry Bonds in. Baseball voters can kick rocks because they're all so sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
If a player is rude to them in the slightest or doesn't do an interview, they put like a little check by that guy's name. And then they hold that against them because they were the guys, these clowns that are voting for the Baseball Hall of Fame, the writers, most of them, not all, were the clowns in high school that didn't make the team, but they loved the game, and so they became team managers. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Every team needs that. Then they couldn't do it in college because they already had a team manager. So they went to journalism school, and then they became writers. They want to write about it because they love the game so much. And now we have empowered these clowns to vote for the most sacred thing in my game, the game of baseball. They're sensitive. They never picked up a bat. They don't understand the grind. They don't understand how great Barry Bonds was. And the fact that he's not sitting in the Hall of Fame right now is a joke.
Would he be sitting on a needle?
They all were.
That's not what I asked.
Who wasn't? And he never tested positive. How do you know? They can kick rocks.
Richard Montgomery gets a hug. Did Terrio get sleeves from a small shirt sewn on a large shirt to make his biceps look bigger?
I mean, they're actually not. Is it tight? Is this shirt tight? Is it?
It's okay. I have one more.
It's a large.
I want to go through the Hall of Fame ballot in a second.
She's got huge guns. What do you mean to do?
Will Wade.
No. Nope, stop it right now.
Nope. Will Wade has got to kick rocks.
Come on.
Will Wade's kicking rocks.
Undefeated in the SEC.
Will Wade is kicking rocks.
They just won by 20.
Kick rocks, Will Wade.
This is wrong, bro.
No, Will Wade needs to kick rocks.
Why?
You didn't hear what he said on his coach's show last night?
No.
Quote, I don't mean to bring this up, but I did bring this up with the team. Everybody's complaining about the call in the Saints game, which was a bad call, obviously. But they're all complaining about that call. The Saints lost that game well before that call. The Saints lost that game when they had to kick 2 field goals early in the game when they could have scored touchdowns. The Saints lost that game well before that call. The call didn't help, but my point to my team was everything you do matters. If they would have executed a little bit better, every detail matters. If you watch the Kansas City game, they intercepted or whatever, and the guy's offsides by 3 inches. That's the difference between the Kansas City Chiefs going to the Super Bowl and the Patriots going to the Super Bowl. Every play matters. Everything you do matters. Every detail matters. People get caught up in what happens at the end, but games are won or lost well before the end of the game. That's been my biggest point to our guys today. Everything we do matters, and everything we do is going to be measured, whether it's a championship or just okay. That's what we're about right now. You put it in other people's hands, anything can happen. You can be subject to a really bad call, and it was. What can you control? You can control your execution. You can control all the stuff that happened at the beginning of the game. That's where the difference was. Will Wade can kick rocks.
Okay, I think you got kick rocks and hug mixed up.
Nope, Will Wade can kick rocks.
That's your exact stance.
What do you mean?
That's exactly what you said.
What do you mean?
Well, that's what you said. Why are you telling him to kick rocks?
What did I say?
That the game wasn't lost just on that play. He should be getting a hug, don't you think?
Hey, look. I'll tell you this much, all right? That might be my stance. That it was a brutal call. The worst call in the history of the NFL. And that, yes, the Saints blew many opportunities that could have won them the game. But you know what?
What?
I wasn't born in Nashville, Tennessee, coaching Tennessee, Chattanooga, going to school at Clemson, then VCU, then transplanting my ass down to South Louisiana for 1 year making NIT and think I can go pop off at the mouth about the Saints getting hosed, all right? I'm born in New Orleans. I've been a season ticket holder my whole life. I've bled with the Saints. I used to take my Grammy. We'd park over there off of Tulane Avenue at the church, and I'd hold her hand and walk into the dome, and we'd walk up into section 143 and go sit in those seats and watch some terrible teams. I have a right to call out my guys when they stink and say, look, we got hosed by that call, but hey, Drew Brees, don't throw the ball at Michael Thomas's feet. You know what I mean? I earned that right. Will Wade, you're born in Nashville. Go talk about the Titans, Will Wade. We didn't know nothing about this.
Oh,
Kick
come
rocks,
on.
Will Wade.
Oh, no,
right.
that's wrong. That's wrong.
It's like your crazy uncle, man.
He likes the Saints now.
It's like everybody's got the crazy uncle.
He might have always liked the Saints.
Everybody's got the crazy uncle. You know what I mean?
He's not the crazy
and
uncle.
it's like, you can sit there. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's a crazy uncle. Listen, what I'm saying to you, all right? What I'm saying to you is everybody's got the crazy uncle. And I can sit there and talk about my uncle. You start talking about my uncle?
Yeah, we got
hey, man,
problems.
that's my uncle.
Yeah, we got problems.
I don't care.
Yeah.
It's my uncle. I can talk about him if he's crazy. This is my team. This ain't Will Wade's team.
He might love the Saints.
Check it, Will Wade. I get it, man. 4-0 you in SEC. You got me fired up about this basketball team right now. I'm all in. And he's my bud. He called me bud. We're buds.
He did call you bud.
We are buds,
Yep.
me and Will Wade. But I'm going to tell you what. You want to get on my poop list, keep walking down this path.
Yeah,
you keep walking down this path.
Keep their name out your mouth.
That's right.
I like it.
Keep that name out your mouth.
I didn't think you were going there with that. Javonte Smart can kick rocks. Not because of his hairline. Has nothing to. That doesn't have any.
Got such a big forehead.
It don't have anything to do with the 5 head. All right.
That poor boy. Yeah, like he
don't have dreams. He
God.
watches movies. Hey, you know.
That is a kid, man.
Yeah.
That is a 19-year-old kid. Come on.
Yeah. Whew. This is rough. Anyway, not because of that. Will Reese could have got on the board easily. He was wide open, and Smart kept taking shots at the end of the game up by 20. Like, Will Reese could have got points in an SEC game, and Smart decided not to give him the rock, and I'm pretty pissed about that. And Javonte, you can kick rocks. I think you're a good player, but you can kick rocks for that.
All right, we done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, speaking of which, we will talk about the LSU basketball team here in a second. We get to ask us. Tell people about Prime Occupational Medicine and all the good people over there and the work that they do.
Always making it happen. Holidays are over with. Prime. Get them in your business right now. Getting everything restructured for the new year, whether it be safety, human resources, corporate planning. The people at Prime can help with all of those things. Get your business where it needs to be. Give them a call, 225-749-5750, or see them at www.primeoccmed.com.
PrimeOCCmed.com. Prime Occupational Medicine, proud sponsors here of the Riot Podcast. We appreciate them. LSU Hoops is ranked. What do you think?
25th?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they deserve to be ranked. They're playing great. Look, it looks like the next few games are, I don't say easy games, but they should handle those. I think they'll creep up in the rankings a little bit. It's going to be a fun season.
What a lazy, generic answer.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me anything more?
I think they've grown as a team.
Okay.
I'll give you that. I think early on they struggled kind of gelling, as all these teams do. What amazes me, though, is like how a Duke or some of these teams that always have freshmen every year and year out, and then they keep winning games, because it's not an easy thing for a coach to do. But it looks like this team's found their rotation. You're seeing guys. Bigby Williams is a different player than he was early in the game. Dude, how athletic is that guy? And I was saying this.
6'11".
and can run the floor and can jump and finishes around the rim and blocks shots. I mean,
dude, he got owned against Arkansas.
He did. It was just weird because, like how are you
He was facing a lottery pick.
I get it.
Do you?
I get it. No, I mean, I understand, but his athleticism doesn't change. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so South Carolina. And by the way, Cavell Bigby-Williams was SEC Player of the Week this week.
Mm-hmm.
Double-double against Ole Miss, double-double against South Carolina. Do you remember the first play of the South Carolina game? South Carolina wins the tip. They run down. They're in their half-court set. They throw a pass down on the block to Chris Silva. He gets Bigby-Williams off his feet, goes up, scores and one. I mean, 10 seconds into the game, they got an and one on Bigby-Williams. Chris Silva is a super savvy player. He's a really good SEC player. Big body, 6'9". They got him into foul trouble at the 17:38 mark. He sat the rest of the half on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, that allowed LSU to dominate that game in the post. Cavell's really good. He's a much better post defender than Nas is right now. I think Nas will keep getting better. But when you're 6'11", you're long, you can block shots, protect the rim. He's an element that he adds a dimension to this team that they didn't have a year ago. They did not have a rim protector. They do now, and they're going to play a team tomorrow that is awful. Georgia is an awful basketball team. They can't score, and they're not. LSU's length is going to give them all kind of troubles. It's funny. I heard Will Wade on his coach's show yesterday, and on his media availability talking about Georgia. And Georgia beat LSU in 2 games last year. Beat them in Baton Rouge 61-60 and then or 62-61, and then they beat them in Athens like 93-82. It was a high-scoring game. The difference is they had Yancey Maiden a year ago. I mean, he's SEC All-SEC Player of the Year candidate. You know what I mean? This Georgia team don't have that. This is a really bad basketball team. If LSU loses the home game tomorrow, that's brutal. So they should win this one. They're going to go on the road Saturday against Missouri, and they're not good either. And then they go to A&M, who's the worst team in the league. Like, they should win their next 3.
Yeah.
Then they're home against Arkansas, and they'll be favored in that one too. It's conceivable LSU starts 8-0. Like, they should start 8-0 in conference play. If they just take care of their business. And then you're going to get into the second half of league play where things get a little bumpy, but that's when you're basically going to be playing for seeding every day.
And you should be hitting your stride at that point. I think the one thing that Will Wade has figured out, other than how to do the motorbike, because that was brutal, or how to keep the Saints' name out of his mouth, is the rotation of this team. And when you have 8 legit guys that you can rotate in and out, you mentioned the game where Bigby-Williams got owned, but he did get in foul trouble early that game and never really was able to get in a rhythm, similar to the guy from South Carolina, and kind of was a non-factor. But when you look at the athleticism of this team, this is something you mentioned 3 or 4 weeks ago when you started talking about them. The big men run the floor as if they're guards, other than Days, who does get up and down the floor decent. But Naz Reid, as well as Bigby-Williams, run the floor similar to how the guards run the floor. When you add the element of Taylor, where you never know what you're going to get with this guy. I hadn't played a ton of basketball, and Wade has even said that himself on a few of the interviews, is, you know, he just hasn't played a lot of basketball, and he surprises us every day. It was a statement that he made, and I'm like, man.
Marlon Taylor?
Yes.
He's been awesome.
So what is the ceiling for him? And nobody really knows. We know he can jump out of the gym. You know he can shoot the ball, off the dribble decent. But
I thought he would be an athletic perimeter defender and someone who can crash the boards.
Vernell Singleton
get
type.
an alley-oop dunk every now and again. When the Ole Miss game, to see him score 20, he scored 21 in that game. To see him become an offensive weapon to score. I'm sorry, he scored 12 in that game. It was the was it the Arkansas game where he scored 21? Hey, I'm going back. Sorry. Yeah, 21 against Arkansas, and he was perfect at the free throw line. 6 of 6, he was 7 of 8 from the floor. I mean, when he gets around the basket, I mean, he's just skying up, dunking. I mean, but to go perfect from the free throw line was impressive too.
Not only that, but elite type defender. I mean, legit can shut down players. So look, man, I don't know how they would match up when we talk about like a Duke or Arizona or some of these teams. I would have to think, though, athletically, there can't be a whole lot of difference between those teams.
I mean, some teams have difference makers, like Zion Williamson. LSU doesn't have a Zion.
Yeah, so
but nobody does.
Let's say they were playing Duke. Like, who would guard him? And
Cavell.
Yeah.
He's your best low block defender. You're not putting Naz Reid on him. Naz is a big body, but as we saw early in the season, like, Naz is going to get goaded into bad fouls by good college basketball players. It's just, and that's just a progression for him in this game.
And Cavell can't guard him at the perimeter, and there's no way.
You can switch.
Yeah.
But I get asked all the time, like, what's the, and we're going to do Ask Us here in a second. So if you're watching on the Facebook Live, fire away, just like we do on Fridays with Ask Ryan. Ask us anything about anything, just fire away.
Look at her.
Oh, you're looking at Gayle Benson on the TV?
Yeah, man. Look at that jacket.
I know, it is.
It's nice, isn't it? Like, you're starting to, I see.
I'm seeing what you're seeing a little bit.
See, the hair's perfect.
It is.
Look at that nice smile. I mean.
Beautiful smile.
Yep.
Necklace.
What do you think that thing costs, that necklace? Couple hundred? Probably so. Got a house around her neck. I like it.
Couple $100?
She got a house around her neck, dog.
Oh, couple $100,000.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. No. What's that little place in Perkins Row? The jewelry place.
I don't know. Perkins Row?
Can't remember it. Like, they have the yellow boxes all the time.
Jared?
No.
Anton's?
No. Just stop. Anyway, all right.
She didn't get that from Jared.
No, I'm not talking about that. It's not. What's now? It's like two names.
Bigby Williams?
Kendra Scott.
Kendra Scott.
It's like she got it at Kendra Scott.
She didn't get that at Kendra
Like
Scott.
$75.
Yeah, no.
Kendra Scott. That's it. That's what I was thinking. All right, we're going to do Ask Us here in just a quick second. One more time, remind people about Prime Occupational Medicine before we get into Ask Us.
The good people at Prime, we appreciate them for sponsoring this segment. Give them a call, 225-749-5750. They can come into your business, clean everything up from a medical standpoint, whether it be drug testing or just general medicine and the health of your employees. Give them a call at Prime OCC Med, 225-749-5750, or hit them up on the web, www.primeoccmed.com. Ask for my man Sean Connor or the great Doug Thompson.
The Duggar, huh?
The Duggar.
All right, you ready to Ask Us? Wrap this thing up?
Ready when you are.
Doug Thompson, the guy who cursed on national TV when he threw his glove in the air. Dropped an F-bomb in front of everybody.
He was fired up.
God, he was fired up.
Yep.
He got a strikeout to win the national championship. I mean, the ball was like 6 feet off the plate.
Although it was probably a legit 3 feet off.
Not 3 feet. About 6 inches.
No, it was way more than 6 inches. It was in the other batter's box.
7 inches.
Yeah. It was.
Hey, man, look, college pitchers are going to get more leeway. It's college. Just like you go watch an elementary school game.
Mm-hmm.
You got to give them a little bit.
You do.
You got to. Otherwise, it's just going to be walks all the time.
That's true. But 3 feet?
But
Okay, hold on.
I'm got into it. Review?
What team were they playing? That was,
Alabama.
Okay. Do you think they had a petition going around Alabama to have that call reversed and replay that game? No. They took their medicine. They went home.
It was 13-5.
It was egregious.
Wait, was it 13-5 or was it 13-6? What was the final?
I don't know, but Cougar was really good that game.
Cougar was great.
Yep.
I was a little ticked at Skipper for pulling him.
I know. We should have kept him in.
And Cougar would have had a chance to win be the winning pitcher in 2 national title
I don't think
games.
it's ever happened, has it?
No, it's not. All right. Let's do some Ask Us. If you're new to the show and you're not familiar, here's your chance to ask us anything about anything. It could be sports related. It doesn't have to be sports related. A lot of times it gets a little irreverent. And that's kind of fun. So we like it that way. So here we go. Let's do some Ask Us. Jump in the Facebook Live chat and let's do this. Ask Terrio. What's up with the short shorts on a couple of the LSU basketball players? From Kenny Ford.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like it. I saw it in a middle school gym over at St. George yesterday. I don't like the shorts. And I don't like the super long shorts either. I just kind of like the standard ones. But I'm just afraid of what could come out, like pop out when they're really super short.
Who's got to be wearing a jock, right?
I never wore a jock in basketball.
You didn't play college basketball.
That's true.
You got to have something on.
I'm sure he's got.
You can't just have it rolling. I mean, because there's a possibility.
You never know.
Just sneaks out the bottom and says hello.
Because they're short.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like really short.
Yeah. Todd Dupuy, guys, Tremont makes this team so much better when he plays his game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's not a question.
No, it's a
statement. This is Ask Us.
It's a legit statement, though. He makes a good point. I agree with that. But
I agree.
The beauty of this team is Wade can sit him on the bench when he starts firing the ball all over the place like he likes to do sometimes, and they don't miss a whole lot. Smart's pretty good. Skylar Mays is pretty good.
And Javonte Smart. I think the biggest difference with this team and a year ago is they needed Tremont Waters to be everything.
Had to have him. No choice.
You had a whole lot of Randy Onwasser. Look,
why did he run?
I got to with that one, didn't I?
Yeah.
I got to with the Randy Onwasser.
He tried so hard, too.
The fact that Will Wade piecemealed together a team that actually had a winning record and won an NIT game is super impressive.
Oh, Randy. Randy ran funny.
Ask Ryan, will LSU make the Sweet 16 or Nas? I guess that's probably or not. Will LSU make the Sweet 16? Sam Dixon.
Yeah, I think they could.
Could or will they? It didn't say could they. It says will they.
I think it just depends on what side of the bracket they get on. I mean, if you have a strong second half of the SEC, it should help seeding. Will help seeding, obviously. A lot of that, though, just depends on the matchups, man. It's hard to say right now.
Totally. Get asked every day in some form. Like if I'm doing Morning Scone, I'm doing a podcast, Locked On, whatever. What's LSU's ceiling postseason? Well,
you stay away from the big boys in the seeding.
George Mason made a Final Four.
Yeah.
Last year, Loyola of Chicago made a Final Four. VCU made the Final Four as an 11 seed. LSU made a Final Four as an 11 seed. Like anybody can go to the Final Four.
Yeah.
What's their ceiling? Well, I mean, they can make the Final Four. I mean, of course they can.
The better question would be, can they beat one of the top two?
I would say no. For me, it's okay. What the better way to ask the question is, what would be your baseline expectation? In baseline, like you've got to be in the tournament, but I think at this point we're there. Now it's just like seeding, right? Like it's having the conversation about, like we're already at that conversation, like beyond the conversation of will they be in? Like if they're not in, that's a failure at this point. Now it's seeding and how and what can you do? I would think this team is good enough. And again, you want to avoid the 8-9 line, the 8-9 game, so you're not playing the 1 seed in the second round. And I would guess probably the 7 line as well, so you're not playing the 2 seed. You know what I mean? Or the 10. Anyway, I think I would like to see them play to the second weekend of the tournament. Depending on how the play yourself into like a 6 seed and be able to play into the second weekend. And if you get hot, you win a couple games in the second week, like in 2006, they beat Duke and then they beat Texas in the regional final. Okay, great. You go to a Final Four. But they need to be in. I've said that at the start of the season. Like that's your baseline expectation. I'd love to see them play the second weekend.
Yep.
Eric Hart, ask us, are you going to be a season ticket holder for the Baton Rouge Rougarou? Ask y'all, how many midweek games will LSU baseball win? They're trying to set me off, dude.
They are. Here's what I'll say to that. And we're going to get into this more Friday, right?
Yeah.
So, but the midweek pitching is going to be so different than it was last year and the year before last. I think they win those games, the ones that they lost last year, simply because the guys that need to get innings and need to get work are different than the guys that need to get innings and work last few years. These guys are like really good. So,
like Mikhail Hilliard may be who's your most consistent pitcher last year?
Yep.
He's not going to be in the rotation this year.
He can't. He doesn't throw 98.
I mean, like legitimately, you're going to go Hess, Marceau, Walker,
Henry,
Cole Henry.
I mean, there's legit guys all over that bullpen, and they've got the best pitching coach in the country. And it's just look here. Nolan Cain did his job. I mean, he went and got an impressive group, and now you put it in the hands of the coaches. And I feel great about Alan Dunn. I mean, his abilities. I've said that since the day he got here. This guy is a special coach.
Kirk Taylor, ask us, Terrio, how was it to have some strong, beautiful women like Maddie Rogers and Brooke Ennis working out at your facility a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Really cool to have those girls here at Traction in Baton Rouge. Impressive.
PJ Richard, ask us, Ryan, do you make a trip to the woods for rabbit or squirrel? If so, which one?
Rabbit.
He also said, I'm with you on Miss Gayle.
Yeah, of course you are.
Ask us, what the hell was that line judge looking at not to call PI?
No, he was looking at it. He just didn't call it.
Shelby Kelly asked us, will LSU go undefeated in baseball except for midweek? Winless in the midweek games. That's not funny. Is LSU up for the Triple Crown 2019 baseball, basketball, football?
Boy, that'd be impressive. I don't know. I think basketball is probably the hardest one because those guys can leave after 1 year.
Ask us, why won't Hilliard be a starting pitcher?
You've got like guys with real major league type stuff, and it's not taking anything away from Hilliard. You know, he's got his spin rate on his curveball is higher than most major league pitchers, which
I think
is
I've heard that
extremely
before.
impressive. Yeah, and
they said that in like every time he touched the ball last year
because it's impressive, you know, and you don't see that very often. But
did you know that Kramer Robertson's mom was Kim Mulkey?
Yeah, I did know that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you know that Antoine Duplantis' brother is a pole vaulter?
Mondo.
Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Did you know that Herman Johnson was the biggest baby ever born in Louisiana?
Keep going because
Did
this
you
is
know
fun
that?
for me. Yeah, I like this. What else you got?
Did you know that Mary Lou Retton's daughter is a gymnast for LSU?
And she looks like her a little
Her
bit
name
too.
is McKenna Kelly, yeah.
I used to have a crush on Mary Lou Retton.
Really?
I did.
Okay.
Cool. Good talk.
Why do so many pitchers have sour arms?
I don't know what that means.
I think he means sore arms, but he spelled sour. It's from Gilson Roussel.
Well, that's easy. Throwing a baseball is an unnatural motion. Your body was not built to do that. So, yes, it's going to hurt. You got to manage it and maintain it.
Gilson Roussel, I already just read that one. Destination Hunt?
No, I mean, I have in the past, but not this year.
How big of a drool puddle did Alan Dunn have when Kane brought in this class?
Yeah. I mean, and look, full disclosure, AD doesn't care who it is. Like, he's going to coach the exact same. But you give that guy... You can't. You give him a Camry to drive. He does a pretty good job. You give him a Ferrari. Watch out.
Ask us, did you know Kim Mulkey wears jean vests?
It's a good one.
Ask us, hog backstrap or deer backstrap?
Deer. That's easy.
I've never had a hog backstrap.
Don't-
It's not
yeah.
Is it bacon? Is it just bacon?
No, it's not bacon,
Oh.
but it's pork.
Okay. That's going to do it for us. Shout out Prime Occupational Medicine. Appreciate them very, very much. PrimeOCCMed.com. Business owners, get on it. They're tagged in this post. If you're watching us on Facebook, if you're listening to the podcast, get on over to PrimeOCCMed.com. PrimeOCCMed.com or call 749-5750. And they're not just in Baton Rouge, right? They're all over the place.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Lake Charles, you name it.
Yeah, all over.
Offshore. I mean, these guys are doing it.
749-5750. Prime Occupational Medicine. This is the Riot Podcast. He's Ryan Terrio. I'm Matt Moscona. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
See you.